and Blaine Hardy, who is yet to make officially make the team. Thorpe will make the team. So they do have that. Always look for that. When you see a left-handed closer and you don't find a complement left-handed pitcher in the bullpen to get that lefty in a tight situation, I usually shy away from those, okay? I usually shy away. So there you go. All right, great chat room once again. Don't forget the mock drafts. If you come up with a mock draft facility that gives you the standings, please let us know, because that's what we want to do. Look at that. Okay, so we have to take the position that Taylor Rogers, pretty good pick. And then in round 11 was taken Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd taken in round 11. Holy cow. Matthew Boyd taken in round 11. We know that for the past 2 years, Matthew Boyd has been sensational in the first half of the year. He finished up last season with a 4.5 ERA. Yeah, he got a lot of strikeouts, over 230. He had a 2.85 ERA and a 102 WHIP with 88 strikeouts, 15 walks in his first 72 innings. Okay? The strong start. Okay? And it happened 2 years in a row. Once the calendar went to June, Boyd gave up home runs like crazy. Okay? Like 12 home runs in his next 34 innings. So he served up almost 40 home runs in 185 innings. So he's done this 2 years in a row, Matthew Boyd. He is 28 years old. Be careful of Matthew Boyd. Okay, 2 years in a row. That's what he's done. Now, Byron Buxton. I took Byron Buxton. I said yesterday, this is how much I'm into this stuff. I actually lied on the podcast yesterday saying I wouldn't take Byron Buxton and all that bulldinky and poppycock. But here's why I would take Byron Buxton, and here is when I would take Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton, we all know, and so many of us are tired of Byron Buxton and his potential, but it's reached a point where, okay, don't look at his potential to be a star. Don't look for the potential of Byron Buxton to hit 280 and hit 20 or more home runs and steal 25 bases. Look for Byron Buxton to hit 250 to get you 10-plus home runs and 20 stolen bases. That's what I look for. So what is Byron Buxton? A complimentary player. I took Byron Buxton as my fifth outfielder. He topped me off in both home runs and stolen bases to reach the categories I wanted to reach. Reach the numbers. Reach my goals. That was done by the late addition of Byron Buxton. So you can count on him. Now, if you take a second baseman or shortstop who's going to hit you 15 homers and steal 20 bases, you're going to draft him pretty high. But when you think of Buxton, look at him for that. If that's what you need, okay? If that's what you need, yeah, Greater Roll is going to be pretty interesting. If that's what you need, then that's when you take, because it's pretty confident that he'll hit you 10-plus home runs and steal you 15 to 20 bases. That's confidence. So if that's what you need to top off your numbers when it's late in the draft, then my fellow Americans, that's what you do. You got that? Okay. Let's hope we have time now. There's a lot of stuff here in this draft that I want to go over. These are the late round picks, and next week we'll start back with the teams and our team previews. Okay, so we got the Yankees and the Mets coming up. So Buxton, he's in there. Jesus Luzardo. Andrea took Jesus Luzardo last year in a lot of drafts, I remember. And he's not a bad pitcher. And a lot of people are taking the position that between Manaea and maybe Puck when he comes up, that this Oakland team is going to be a tremendous team. And with Houston, in their situation, I'll tell you something. It's possible. Here's what I predict for Luzardo, and I'm predicting pretty good. And he's 22 years old. If he wins like 12 games with a 3 ERA and a 1.2 WHIP, maybe 1.25 WHIP, and look, last year he appeared to be on track to make the opening day rotation, and then rotator cuff strain and a grade 2 lat strain took him out for most of the year. Now, don't forget, last year Luzardo only pitched 12 innings, 12 innings at the end of the year. That was it. Had some innings in the minors, but they were like 40 innings, something like that. But so he did pitch. So be careful when you look at Luzardo, his innings amount. They're not going to jump that much, but still, he was on track last year. He logged 63 innings in total. So the top concern with him is the workload. And it's unclear, really, how the A's are going to manage his role throughout the season. But we shouldn't expect Luzardo to log in more than 100 innings. Okay? He's got it. He's got it all. 96-mile-an-hour sinker. Got an 83 curveball. He keeps batters off balance. He throws his fastball 20 to 31% of the time. He keeps hitters off balance. Okay? All 4 of his pitches have a plus potential. Durability concerns linger. That's the whole thing. So Luzardo, a great name, a great potential, but in my opinion, you cannot invest a substantial amount in Luzardo because of the fact that he's not going to pitch more than 100 innings. Moving on to round 12, Yasiel Puig was in the game yesterday, and Craig Mish reports that Yasiel Puig is looking for 1-year deal to reestablish himself at $15 million. Now, as I'm talking about this draft, I notice Luzardo was actually taken before Sean Manaea. Wow. How can you do that? How can you take Luzardo over Sean Manaea? Let's take a look and see. Sean Manaea over Luzardo. I wonder about and of course, my only question is not based so much on ability, but I'm talking about innings. I'm talking about innings. So Manaea, let's see what we expect out of him. I'll give him, as far as wins, who knows, a 3.5 ERA, a 1.2 WHIP, maybe 150 strikeouts. But don't forget he had that shoulder problem. And yes, Manaea only pitched 30 innings himself. So, okay, I didn't realize that. But, he only pitched 30 innings. So maybe Manaea is behind Luzardo. He had that shoulder surgery, initially expected to keep him out for all of the year of 2019. But he rehabbed well. He returned when rosters were expanded. My bad. All right, he started 5 games through 29 innings. So that's why you do. His velocity, spin rate were all down a little bit, expected after a long layoff. So Oakland's got the potential, but let's not go slobbering all over Oakland just yet, okay? Let's wait a little bit. So Sean Manaea taken in the draft. Good pick, but don't expect a lot from him, okay? As we move along, we're now in round 13, and sometimes you got to be careful because you just don't know if players were, people are on their way home, the whole thing, and you just don't know. And so I'll make the last one, Lourdes Gurriel, taken in round 13. We talked about Gurriel when we talked about the Blue Jays. When I saw him in the Arizona Fall League, I really liked him a lot. I really thought he was going to be terrific. And Tito Luna is already terrific. Thank you, Tino, for coming in. Chris Gallo, happy birthday once again. Okay, let's go over a couple other things. Let's go over some of the players. Let's go over some of the players now that are coming back from injuries. And don't forget, A lot of people are including Michael Kopech as a player coming back from injuries, and rightfully so. So Michael Kopech, everybody waiting to see what this guy really has to offer. Last year, Kopech, he pitched 14 innings with the White Sox last year. That's all about. Actually, he didn't pitch at all. He pitched 14 innings the year before. So Kopech will enter spring training without restrictions. Okay, he pitched a little bit in the instructional league, and he had Tommy John surgery. He'll be handled very carefully. He'll ramp it up in spring training. But all right, I would say an end game pick at best. Probably not going to really mean very much until the end of the year. So Michael Kopech is one of the guys coming back from injuries. A couple other guys coming back from injuries. Steven Souza. Steven Souza's coming back from an injury. Okay? He could be a very interesting player, Steven Souza, if he plays. Coming back from injury. He's a free agent. He will be signed by somebody. He's 30 years old. Steven Souza, he's running, he's hitting, he's throwing at 100%. And according to John Morosi, he underwent knee surgery, but 4 teams are going after him. So endgame pick, Steven Souza could be an endgame pick. Don't forget, he's got a history of stealing double digits. He's got a history of, he had 30 home runs in 2017. So that's Steven Souza. All right, a couple other players with a little bit more zoomph. Luis Severino. All right, Luis Severino. He began 2019 on the injured list. He had that right rotator cuff inflammation, and they kept on pushing his return date back. He didn't make his season start until middle of September. He pitched 12 innings over three starts. He made 2 postseason starts, and Game 3 loss to the Astros. Okay, starting staff in Yankee Stadium is already much improved with Garrett Cole and the reemergence of Severino. The Yankees did well last year, right? And this year, they're adding Severino and Garrett Cole. So it's going to be tremendous. So he made his second straight All-Star team his last full season. The Yankees had a 4.5 rotation ERA, which ranked 15 in the majors. The addition of Cole and Severino is going to make a big difference, okay? The addition of Cole and Severino. So I would not have much hesitation on taking Severino. He's going to be on a great, as the team goes, so goes the player. Do not hesitate on spending that extra dollar for Luis Severino. Andrew McCutchen, almost a forgotten man. I saw he was just taken in our mock draft. He wasn't the big-ticket outfielder that the Phillies signed before 2019. That was Bryce Harper. But his impact was real. He played in 59 games. Through June 3rd, he hit 10 homers with an on-base percentage of almost 380. But he came out of the game at the beginning of June, left knee injury, torn ACL, season was over. But when he played with the Phillies, and here's something you got to look at. The Phillies were 33-27, a half game ahead of the Braves for first place. Then, without Andrew McCutchen, they went 48-54. They finished at exactly 500. Now, look, they had a shaky bullpen. They had some starting pitchers that didn't pan out. But McCutchen's, when he disappeared from the top of the order, it was noticeable. Okay, very noticeable. So Andrew McCutchen coming back, expected to be a big catalyst on this team. Rayce Hoskins had the bad year. Bryce Harper was, and boy, they could come back in a very big way here, in a very big way. So let's take a look and we'll see what the Phillies are going to do. Lance McCullers, wow, missing the entire 2019 season with Tommy John surgery. Okay. We all know how bad they need him here. I mean, we saw him as a very effective relief pitcher in the 2018 postseason. That right elbow derailed him, really took a toll. In 80 career starts, McCullers got a great curveball.